Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work-related.
Jay!
What up, B?
How's it going?
I am fucking great.
I want to welcome everyone to the Work-Related Podcast.
Oh my god, I'm ready to go. We are related by work on Twitter.
I'm
We're
drinking a beer.
absentee. But just to get right out of the way, this is our buddy B's birthday weekend.
Oh, yes.
This is 14-year-old girl in him is telling everybody it's his birthday weekend.
Damn right.
You know what is fucking good for you is out of all the fucking retarded work-related shit that we had to talk about before work-related started.
Yep.
And because of your control freak nature, shout out to Tammy, is that I want you to reveal on how happy your boys were to celebrate your birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, how did, like, okay, I'm not,
Go ahead.
I hate cutting you off because
Go ahead.
you need to be talking more than me, but the one of your lackeys was walking around with a fucking, I could see, it's like, is that a cake from Longo's in that motherfucker's hand? And I
Well,
knew it was your birthday.
It's funny because one of the other guys, his wife made that cake.
Okay, I just thought it was a Longo's
Yeah, I thought
box.
it was too, but then they said, I said, this cake looks very fucking pretty. Like, where'd you get this from? And then he's like, the tall guy, Lijo, he's like, my wife made it. I was like,
Oh
what the
my
fuck?
God, that's even fucking better. So,
Right?
listen, we like you over here, so I can understand why other people fucking like you too. But it's like nobody's building the cake for my boss. Nobody's fucking putting anything together. Like the team that you've created is because of you. You've garnered these guys' respect. It's fucking no grown man really should celebrate their birthday as much as you do, but that's fine. I felt good for you for that. We've talked about like hinting on the bullshit that you think you're going through or you are, and I think that's just what happens when you're a leader, man. I think the people above you and the whole, even if you were a massive like rap jury, like it's just like fucking. He has to go to a boardroom and ask why enough T-shirts weren't being sold. You know what I mean? Like I just got you Kawhi Leonard, all these other things. Like no concentrating on my good. So you're always going to be up against a wall with your higher ups unless you own the company. And you're never going to own a 50. Like I hope you do, but you know what I mean. It's hard to own this kind of company.
Yep, for sure.
What you can't buy, what those kind of guys earn their respect for is the men who work for you. And that's why I'm saying like you should live in that a little bit more. Like it's going to be for 2 years, you've made enough of a good shift with these fucking foreigners that, you know what I mean? You've worked really hard with, you've fucking created a bit of a half leader with our buddy Booby, shout out, that nobody ever saw coming. That you made you made your shift, you made your profit. You're not getting the respect you deserve from it now though. But the guys that have grown in numbers bought you a fucking cake, bought you a bottle of tequila,
Oh, yeah.
bought you fucking pizza. You're the guy who tells them what to do. You're the guy who fucking makes them, you know what I mean, or supposed to be the fucking my goddamn boss, Mr. Slate, whatever, you know what I mean? Like fucking like
Yep.
I hate my boss. And so that, I mean, as a common thread. But no,
Yeah, for sure.
they bought you fucking shit. They did that because you made it so. And so but that's what you were given. You're given a lot of responsibility and you've made it work. It sucks that we can't prove that that it's not shouted out from the rooftops by other people. And then get into the weeds. It actually might be undermined by other people that might be jealous or threatened by it or see. But the haters are always going to be there. And if you live in that world looking for the respect that's not there instead of living in the respect that you've made, then I think that's a fool's errand. I think you should concentrate a little bit more on how good you are at it. And the people that do recognize it. It might not ultimately be the people you want to recognize it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's only been 2 years, right? Like it seems like but it's been 2 years, right? Like it's both are true, Brian.
Yeah.
But you need to be a little bit more patient, I think, with this kind of position.
I agree.
With somebody like me who just wants to build the shit and get it out of the way, and I can defend my hours and do all that, I don't have to go any further. I've had to live in my life. It's like I have to assume there's a bunch of meetings where I wish I could defend my position, but I can't. I have to assume that now I am an old man with a broken hip that for a while they had to tell me that, oh, he's slow because he's an older guy now. And just I can't change that. It might even be true. And I shouldn't live in that.
Yeah, they'll cry if you leave.
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm not, but then I would be worse for it. I can go look at the other fucking company. I've said it before. I can make it almost the same at the fiberglass factory.
Yeah.
Like there's zero responsibility there.
Yeah.
Like any fucking monkey could fucking do that.
Yeah.
I'm not a monkey. I can be good for you like that. And so, but just like cut to fucking 6 months later, where I'm working on the fucking like the assembly line of the
fiberglass?
Yeah, and I'm just like, boy, I told them,
You're right.
right? Like, and then I
You're right.
suffer. I
Yeah.
feel a bit more prideful, but it doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't. But you're a different cat. You actually have built something. You know what I mean? Like you are successful in what you've tried to do. Ultimately, I can't help but realize it will be recognized. It might not be recognized tomorrow, and the people that should be more part of your team, they just don't know how to build a team like you. They get to fucking just kind of watch it and never give you the credit for it, and you just have to live with it. The respect of us and your shift has to carry you, because the guys that you are your counterparts during the day don't have that. For somebody that me, like I can only speak for me, that has been around and seen different versions of these type of people. I speak out loud about how I'm disappointed in them. When I've actually tried to dive deep into helping this as a team and do all that, I look how mad I got when I was hit a brick wall. But I just like I can only do so much. You got upset with me, and rightfully so. Tammy I agree with this. Like that self-sabotage move is not a leader. Like isn't what I should have just kept my mouth shut. But part of me was just like living in the. Like I don't know if I really want to do that. Like I don't know. Like I was giving myself an out, giving Marcel an out. You were 100% right. But I was living in that disappointment of just like I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna. However frustrated you are, I would be 10 times.
Yeah.
And I thought it would work because I've learned to ignore that shit. It's like don't tell me how long it's going to teach this guy to make a fucking top or like a foreman's lock. Like I'm just going to go about my business and make it work and get the respect of those guys. I have whatever respect of the guys on your shift I have is because they've seen me work for a couple hours every night.
Yeah.
And I don't give them the hassle that other people they might feel. And we don't work on the same shit, so they don't really have to. So it's different, but you're going to have to, you can't please all the people all the time, but the people you do fucking please is real. Like nobody's buying a pizza for these other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like they reluctantly fucking okay, yeah, I'll like I like Marcel. I'm disappointed in them.
Yeah.
So I don't think, you know what I mean? Like I think you should live a little bit in the people that treat you with respect. Don't concentrate on them. But
Thanks, Jay.
but also like I said with the Lego, you have to, or something, you make a painting or whatever. Even the truck, I just finished building that fucking truck. I can complain about how many hours it took. I can complain about it's not painted. It's all raw aluminum, and you have to be super careful about it. And it's like, oh my god, they expect me to do this, but I ignore all of that and I just take my time. It put me in a greater place for the last 2.5 weeks. It should have only taken 2, but whatever, 2.5 weeks, and I'm like, okay, just like take your time. Like check your welder. Okay, put some fucking cardboard on this piece. Like everything you got to do is in service of the end. And once it's all done, it's worth it. Mm-hmm. And I just like did it for me. I'm almost like fucking, there you go. I don't expect anybody to say, hey, thanks, because it's my job. Right. And so you've asked to do this job. And so the parts you've done well, just concentrate on that. So I've overstepped. I should have said stop.
No,
Thanks.
you're good. You're good. I appreciate it, Jay. It puts things in perspective because you know how it is. Sometimes you just get into your own. When I get into my rage, this is my rage. Is this the most mad you've seen me? They don't know.
No, you. See, it's kind of hard to get. Yes, this. I think I might have hinted before how mad you've gotten, and I think I've said it. If I haven't said it out loud on the show, I've said it out loud to you and Tammy, and probably that's it. That you are going to leave this company before I do. The comments that you end up saying and the frustration that I feel you walk up against. And the amount of times that whatever I've said or whatever, I was like, oh no, he'll pick up and go for the feeling of lack of respect before I ever do. Because you've said I'm quitting this place more than I ever had.
Oh, already?
Yes.
God damn.
No, and like probably in the last year, like you've said it, I can think of 3 times. This
God
last
damn.
week, and I don't know the other times, but
Today?
no, this week, I'm giving this whole week. You know, like if I count the days, and yeah, you've already coming back and gone. So I've seen that because I expect nothing less of somebody who tries as hard as you have. Like that stops me from trying. It ultimately puts me in just a bit, like you said, you see me in a higher position and all that kind of stuff, and not reeking of status and all that. But the people that always can do the jobs well just get fucking pushed to the fucking limit. Like I can't ever stop and thinking Nicole fucking made cry of. Like it's retarded that we stop talking about everything and then I say something like that. Like everything we say is kind of out there already. And it's ultimately like, I see her as somebody just ultimately trying so hard and getting results and being boss enough to make a decision. Ultimately, the people that you actually see, like you concentrate, you know how to make a decision. You know how to get stuff done. That becomes undeniable. This is a little blip in people fighting about that might defensive against you or really are incapable of doing it during the day. And they all live together, and you're never going to get to talk to them like the higher ups like they do, because you're like whole conversations, but they're always going to have their ear, and they're always going to defer to Ali as his positions and all that. And ultimately, you can just say, like, your evidence is going to speak for itself, and it sucks that you have to maybe videotape your evidence, because that's what they do, or email your evidence. Like every complaint Marcel has, he puts an email, and you say, everything I do, I just talk to you as a man, and we deal with it. And there's no defense on that in the meeting afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But just like me, I can't defend anything other than just like, come to me and I'll tell you why. You have the meeting, say, well, why is this? And just say, well, that's not true. And then ultimately say, well, like, it sucks that we set up this whole body for you guys, and you guys didn't do anything about it, and you think you set it up? No, that's not true. And you might be reluctant to do that because it sounds whiny and you think you're lying and you're defensive, but they've made you say that. If you're in I'm watching a bunch of cop shows, it's like, if you get coming for questioning and you want to remain silent, like, it might hurt your case.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just don't say, like, no, I was whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you have to defend yourself. Now, ultimately, that's a little bit of a tougher decision, but that's a little microcosm of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, why is this like that? Well, I don't know. You came to an ultimate solution to it, where it's not that money is the solution. Money is a compensation for things that like happen like this. And it's not like why you might stay or go, but I think what please do is like, that's your time to bring it up. If you go for your review and you're talking, and you can just say, you know what, like, I want part of this supervisor budget should be more allocated to me. My opinion, like, when I feel disrespected in this way, the only way I can get it made whole again is with money. And then that's the time to say that. And then, you know what, I don't think it might work for a minute. So, oh, now I got like an extra $1 in my pocket. And then you come in the next day and they're going to bitch about a side pack in the way, and you're going to forget all about that $1.
Yep.
And so you have to live in the success. You get to go to your guy and say, I know that they fucking, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. They don't believe me. I believe you, Vishnu. I fucking trust you. And he fucking will go to the wall for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the respect that nobody can buy. No matter how much money you make an hour, no matter how many meetings they have. I've been around for enough meetings when they have these team building things and they give us your opinion, like your suggestions. It's like, I'm fucking 30 years of shut out from this.
Yeah.
And you know me, I don't laugh at you for trying to do it, because you might know this time it's going to work. And it has. And now you're coming up to a wall where it's just like, I can't listen anymore. nobody's going to change. And that's a shame. It's a shame for everybody, but it's going to be a shame for you because you're not being your true self. So I do hope you end up getting that kind of money, but more than that, I hope you get the position to state your case to the people you think you have to state your case to.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, in a company this big, it's never going to get to that top. People are always going to be in a position that they might not fully deserve for somehow they got it. And you know what I mean? Like, it is, but don't discount how you know, like, what you've cultivated. And you're never going to do that again. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean that.
No, you're right. It's not an easy thing. It's not an everyday opportunity or every job opportunity. Nobody gets the chance to. I said it to you. Don't you want to be part of building something? Nobody. It's a rare occasion where you actually get the chance to build something and show the results of something that you've built or you've had a big hand in building. You know what I mean? I know I'm never going to get that opportunity again, but maybe there's a reason I don't get it again, because it's fucking bullshit.
Well, yeah, I might have said it. It's like it's the ultimate problem of being a control person is that you'll find a situation you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the type of person that doesn't mind being controlled, you might stumble upon somebody that wrongly controls you,
mm-hmm.
and an outside person go, look at this fucking person. You know what I mean? Like whatever. They're just like whatever. Marcel and Ali, like, this guy just lets this guy control him. He doesn't really seize control. He's in a bad relationship in a way.
Yeah.
Right? And you say, well, fucking, why would you want to do that? Until it affects you, then you can say, you know why. But you're always going to like bump against that. And you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. What you're doing is you have to just realize there might become a time where I have to present my evidence. And so just how you can properly do that,
mm-hmm.
and when is the right time to do that. And like it's a bullshit move to fucking tape your shift at the end of the night. But you know what? This is a world that they've created. This is a world where you get to fucking say, I don't know what they're talking about. This is what it looked like afterwards. you don't even want to do like what I would do and make everybody fucking punch out so they'll notice, oh my God, there's a half hour of unproduction by everybody. Why is that? Well, because we felt attacked.
Oh, shop maintenance, man. That's going to happen.
Then so great. And that's now you're writing it down in evidence. Like just like think of that meeting you're not in. And so eventually you just like they can have all the meetings they want with you not there. What does it matter to you? You ultimately get to come in and tell fucking 11 people what to do and see it done and just like, oh my God. Like I still
But to what end? When I used to build bodies from the start, I get to see the end and see the success and be like, okay, yeah. Oh, this body came this hours. Look how great it looks. Look, no mistakes. I didn't have to cut anything apart. And I get that. Now, I don't get that now.
Yeah,
I
but that's-
never get that.
I would never. So that's what I can't stop doing for myself. This is why I do what I do. This is why I ultimately came back to Wilcox for, to see that built from the ground up. When somebody built any, you know this. When somebody built any part of my thing, I'm shut out. I've even tried to be a nice person and try to describe what it is and bring in the ownership and bring in the fucking, you know what I mean? Like I want to be proud of this at the end of the day. And how can I be proud of it if it's not fucking done like that? You're even so good, you're forgetting about the times where I say, this fucking guy built my floor. Hey man, no, he's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy built my stuff. This fucking guy. And then you're like, no. You try to calm me down.
Yeah.
And so I like, you know what I mean? Like fucking reluctantly, all right. You know what I mean? Like
I'm hypocritical in that sense because I didn't want anybody touching my bodies.
But you know that's not the way forward to make $51 million the next year is not going to be like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fool's errand. Like I told you before, we're catering to the fucking high end companies, and we got there by the low end companies, and now we're just disregarding those low end companies because they're a little bit beneath us. We don't have time to do Joe's Construction's 1 or 2 trucks. Mm-hmm. We have to do Rogers' 15,000 trucks, and then we built our reputation off of building fucking like the good trucks. And everybody like me and the Johnny, they feel so disrespected because they're getting these kind of feelings, and they just like, you don't appreciate this fucking truck that I just did for you. You just want to come at me like, why did it take you so long? Where this person over here can't even put a fucking book together, or this person here is fucking like just walks around.
Does interiors all day?
Whatever, yeah. And I get it. So now you're living in it. So I like whatever. So I think if you're always looking for control, you're always going to find where you hit your wall in there. And in this moment, you're just not realizing what you do control. And in a way, if you look at it like this, you don't get to be like me and see the truck built from the ground up or the other. But you just said before, I know what my guys do. Like my guys take that over and they finish it. And so your guys are proud of you, but you're also proud of your guys. And that's a hard thing to build, right? Like you get to like just be in that self-contained. Like you've made them build those other trucks. Like you put the others, if they fucking disregard everything that fucking Slow Gordon did, or whatever, that's not our words, Gordon. That fucking, then that's on them. It doesn't matter. It's just like if my bosses don't respect what I just did, that's on them. I'm just gonna live in how much I love building that truck. I can be frustrated about things weren't the size, but at the end of the day, no, man, I built, you know what I mean? Like it's the ultimate Lego piece. And so you're doing that, but now with people, right? You're in The Sims. And now, like I said, like you have to keep doing it. You think it's going to be better somewhere else, and it's not. The only way it's going to be better is if you just dumb yourself down and go somewhere and just work again. But then you're going to look at all the other problems around, and then you're going to see the hypocritical fucking bosses go, hey, we need team building, fix this, and all that. Okay, I'm putting my hand up. So, whoa, wait, are we all on the same team here? Like, why are you fucking going the other way with the ball? Mm-hmm. Like, and you'll find that it happens again. And so, yes, don't concentrate on the disappointment. Be disappointed, because we all are, but just don't do it to yourself. Build these evidence. Just have the evidence apparent when it comes. And it might come in the way that you're acting in these other meetings where it came. So we talked about this on there. They're not going with me as a leader. Shocker. They see all the fucking bad things are going, but the other person is a more of a favorite, no matter how our opinion is, or even if they talk about this person might be toxic and putting a person that's toxic in power, they'll concentrate on the positives of it, whatever it is, the personal agendas, however it goes. And that's the way they're going. I might have self-sabotaged it. It doesn't matter. However it goes, they've went on that decision. You can only sit back now. Okay, that's it. Like, don't come crying to me if something happens or if this is that. You might now have to deal with a personal issue with him and some of your guys. But you know what, though? He's also a type of person that likes to make decisions. Mm-hmm. And he'll fucking steamroll over fucking Ali, I would imagine, if he fucking had a chance.
Oh, he's gonna steamroll over Marcel.
Yeah, well, that's Marcel's fault.
I haven't said this, but like a couple of years ago, he told me that he was, once Marcel gets in power, he's going to take him out. This is
Hilarious.
before I even went on afternoons. He told me, because he said we were having a conversation about leadership and how Ali is going to leave and whatnot. And he said it's going to be Marcel. And this is when I was like, Marcel doesn't want that job. Like, he doesn't want to do that. And he's like, watch. And he said, when Marcel goes there, I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah,
I said,
so that's
I'm like, whatever. I didn't listen to it because I didn't even think Marcel was going to take the job, because Marcel's never taken the job, right? So then when he did it, he told me when he took the job, he's like, I told you, you see? He's like, I told you. And then like a month or two ago, he told me that he's like, he wants to be a lead. He's like, now that Ali's going out, now I'm going to snuggle up with Marcel. He's doing his agenda exactly how he wants to do it. And the thing is, everybody there thinks they know Tariq more than me, but Tariq calls me when his car battery is dead.
Yep.
I've been to Tariq's house. Tariq's been to my house, not inside, but he's been outside. Tariq's talked to my wife. Like, you know what I mean? I've met his kids on more than one occasion, and I'm probably one of the few people he doesn't bullshit all the time. He just tells what he wants to do and what he's going to do. And all these other people they think they know him more than me, when I'm literally trying to tell you without disclosing everything. It's like me and you. We're way more closer than me and Tariq are. But it's like me and you. If I went to Marcel and I told Marcel I know Jay more than him, he would not believe me.
You're right.
He would not believe me.
You'll never change their mind.
And they won't understand. They don't understand that. So you're right. I'm at this point, I'm just gonna let it happen.
But
Let
also,
it go.
but also, because you know Tariq so well, and because he's good at what he does and he likes doing this, like, don't you think there's a world where you and Tariq can work better together, a day and night fucking shift?
Yeah.
Don't you also think that he won't let shit like this kind of slide?
Yeah.
I almost wish, toxic side aside, because it doesn't affect me. I don't see how it can affect me. I don't see Tariq, if his agenda is to get trucks done within 10 hours of the job, to get me out of my comfort zone.
No, he's not gonna.
Like, I don't see him doing, already he's better than fucking Ali. I don't see him fucking with people like me and Alvin. Like, I see him fucking more with people like Johnny, but even then he's got a great relationship with Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of he might be a better supervisor than fucking Marcel.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's fucking stop fighting against this. And so now tomorrow comes in, or fucking see you next Tuesday, he comes in, he's in your new fucking lead hand in the fucking days. He might become your best fucking ally, because he wants to seize this power that's there, and there's this vacuum, and they're not doing it very well. And then so he comes to say, you guys got to stop complaining about the fucking side packs, because I came in at 6 o'clock and everything was great. And fucking, like, I know Brian and I talked, and fucking we fucking think that you guys aren't fucking stepping up. And so Brian and I did this. He's going to become your ally only for his own selfish gains. Right? And because he knows you, like, don't you think he's not going to sit back and let Ali make a fucking dumb decision? He might for a while, but like, just say if he had the amount of years Marcel comes in, he would have been like, I'm buying fucking 3 mag drills. Like, he's not going to sit back and fucking, you know what I mean? Like something like that. He's going to live in this. It's like, you know what? Guys keep coming to me and fucking, they don't have enough fucking this. We're ordering it. Like, he's a man like that. And so it sucks because he does whatever, but you know what I mean? It might work better. Like, why fight? Since it's happened now and they didn't listen to you, and you don't just wait for it to die. Just like, now let your controlness come back into play. Now, how do I play this motherfucker? Like, hey man, why you let fucking this guy happen like that? And so it's going to happen no matter whatever his agenda is. You got to find out what it is now, because he's, you know what I mean, he still has that long game.
Yeah.
But now work together with him. Now he's got this part. Like, work with him in the fucking shadows for a little bit, and just like now you have an ally if you use it. Don't, you know what I mean?
He's
Like,
a dangerous guy, man. You can't fully trust him. But
but
no, I
you're
hear
not-
what you're saying.
Don't you think you could trust him more than Ali?
Yeah.
Do you think so? Do you think
I
he
can
can
trust-
badmouth you more than Ali has?
No.
So what do you got to lose?
He's just smarter than him.
Yes, and are you smarter than them too? So why don't you use him?
I think that's a great idea.
All right, these are many ideas that I
think
fucking
it's-
spouted
this
out
is-
here for you.
Man, you're changing my life, Jay.
You've changed mine, bro. So this is not the same. I'm gonna get off this a little bit. So I don't know how it goes from, like, nobody really enjoys work and then to not enjoying work, or nobody enjoys it. But I'm just going to bring it back to video games for a second. Like, it's not like I don't enjoy Overcooked anymore,
Oh,
but no, I do. But we didn't play it all last weekend because we didn't. Whatever happened. But the further you go, the fucking harder it gets.
yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, okay, I can't go back a level. Like, how bullshit is that? Like, you know what I
You
mean?
can
Like, the
if you want
levels
to
are
get all the 3 stars.
I know, but I'm not doing it for nothing, man. I can't. Like, I can lower my standards. You're right. I can lower my standards. But that hasn't happened yet. That might happen because we're still only on like World 2 level, fucking whatever. But so it's frustrating. Like, I'm trying to just change something a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
how do you get over that frustration in a video game? Like, you quit all the time.
No.
You just like power like.
Yeah. We just keep going.
So most of the time I power through like alone. Like, I just either quit the game or fucking just like for Turismo, if I can like do time trials and just like fight for like 0.0 of a second, or I can just like whatever, do like a rally race or something else. Like, there's so much in the game, but you get caught up in doing a track for fucking 3 days in a row because you're trying to get a gold star or whatever it is. But this team one, it's harder because you're like, do you want to play? Do you want to quit? Do you want to, you know what I mean? Like, what should we do? So that's why I kept asking a bunch of questions on how you do these co-op games in this like fucking marriage counseling type of way.
Yeah.
I think for us, when we started getting successful on the harder boards, is like put it in practice mode and just fuck around. Like, just kind of see, you know what I mean? Like, what we can, we're both better at, because each board is like totally different.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of similarities, but all of a sudden you're whatever, doing something totally
They
different.
really throw wrenches in there.
I wish there was an option that you didn't have to do the dishes.
Oh my
Like,
God, I know.
doing the dishes during in real life, but it really
man.
fucking throws me off, man.
When you have like 3 dishes and like 10 meals, you're like, fuck.
But even when we get into a good spot, bro, where okay, you do the proteins, I'll do the rice, whatever, this and that, it's like there's no plates. Like, I know where to fucking put my shit.
Yeah.
And then when the fire alarm starts going off, like, oh my god,
you have to find a fire
the
extinguisher.
shit starts panic. So
I remember one time me and Selena were playing and like there's fires all over the place, and she grabbed, I said, throw me the fire extinguisher. She threw it right in the garbage. I'm like, oh my God.
oh
no.
my god, I can't even believe I didn't even thought you could throw the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, you just throw that
That's
shit.
hilarious.
You threw it right in the garbage. It takes a while to come back, and everything's. We lost that one, obviously. But that's one thing that actually stood out from one of the times we played a lot. Like, yeah, that was a bad one, man.
Did you have to? So what? Like I said, we'll practice a board for like a long time. Like, the harder the boards are, like, we're practicing for like 20, 25 minutes, half hour before we try.
Yeah.
And so how do you guys figure out how you're going to do it?
We just keep going.
Like, practice, or you just play the story until you get it right?
The story, keep going at the level until.
I think the
Yeah.
practice is good for us because then we're not. There's no consequence for not doing it. Like when you go from practicing to the real times,
Yeah.
and then the fucking tick 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 tick.
Oh
and then,
man! Oh God!
But you do end up like, I think I went from a position of, it's why I'm not a good boss. It's like, okay, we should pick the things we're good at. Okay, like I might be good at like getting the rice, boiling the rice, and doing the dishes, and you're good at chopping mushrooms and fucking steaks or whatever. But then if you're too rigid, then you can't adapt. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost better for you to be able to do everything.
Gotta call it audible.
Yes, that's a good point. Then just say, fuck, oh shit, this needs mushrooms. Like, okay, grab it, throw it over. You know, I'm over here now. Can you grab me one of those?
Yeah.
Like, the communication is so new. It's still new to me in the beginning, and like it's fun, but like I said, you get intimidated when it takes you so long to figure out a board. It's just like, fuck, do you want to play Overcooked? And we're looking at each other.
Like,
or do you want to watch Love Is Blind instead? Yeah, that TV. Yeah, I want to relax. So it's hard to get out of that, you know. Yeah, I guess not wanting to fail, or I don't know, frustration. But
So Overcooked is on a pause.
no. I said before a couple weeks ago, I think we're good for like one board a weekend.
Yeah. To complete or to play one
No,
board?
complete. Yeah. Well, we haven't come. This has got this hard. Jesus Christ, I'm scared now. We haven't got to a point where we've practiced a board all weekend and failed to get it. That would suck so large.
God.
The worst is when you get so close, you get like 1 star away from, or 1 ticket away from the fucking 3 stars. That is pale in comparison to the one when you fucking see that you're at the 3-star like thing. You got like 20 seconds left. Oh, we got, you know what I mean? Like, when you get it, it's so fun. Like,
It's so rewarding.
that is the reward. So back to the correlation, like, live in the reward of your boys buying you a pizza party.
Oh, that was great, man. I really appreciate those guys for doing that.
Okay, see, you can't really get that.
I was like, yeah, I really appreciate those guys. Even though I do have to say they planned this pizza and Booby planned getting the pizza and all this stuff. And I was talking to Alvin and he's like, man, and Nate, Alvin and Nate, and Nate is like, man, your lead hand can't even plan a pizza party. I said, what happened?
That's hilarious.
Alvin's like, well, I was talking to Booby. He's like, I'm going to go get the pizza now. And I'm like, okay, what did you get? And Booby said, all vegetarian. And Alvin's like, you didn't get no pepperoni or no chicken or nothing? He's like, no. And mind you, we order pizza on this shift regularly, right? Like as a group.
Must be nice.
And we always order like a whole chicken, a whole pepperoni, and a whole cheese and a small vegetarian just for Booby. This guy orders like 4 pure vegetarian. And then Alvin's like, Booby's like, oh shit. So he had to go back when he went to go pick up the pizza. He had to order an extra pizza because he only got vegetarian. I was like, oh my god.
So that's so fucking funny, but it's innocent. It's
innocent.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just like a dumb. Like it's his heart's the right spot, but his head's not nowhere close to the right spot.
No way.
Your lead head can't even organize a fucking pizza party.
Oh.
But you know what's good about him? Like I said before, I'm fucking going to keep going back to this. I guess is just like because of the respect you give him, he gets a contour of respect.
Yeah,
he gets a little bit. You know what I mean? Like nobody. I don't know if they bring up like this guy shouldn't be your lead hand anymore. Like they might
not really.
Like I don't think that way anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't concentrate on the lack of his ability. I concentrate on the willingness of his ability. And yeah, he'll like this. That's so funny. You know what I mean? Like, but that shouldn't define him.
No.
What defines him is that he ordered another pizza.
Yeah.
And if he does it again, 50-50.
I was about to say.
I would not want to play Overcooked with fucking Booby. That's for sure.
No way.
I also think of when he ever does come in here and fucking do this,
We got to.
how fucking fast he talks, like how hard it is going to be to understand, like how like excited he will be.
Oh yeah.
Like what he thinks this like is, and like just him being. You know, I mean, he's going to probably come here in a suit.
Oh yeah, probably.
But like, it's fucking pretty impressive to see that kind of like attitude or whatever. Like, I don't know, right? Like, it's not. I don't know, but whatever. So you've made him to be like that. So he's working on it. So I got a fucking little bit of a correction or a backtrack from a story we talked about last week. No, this is fucking hilarious. So. You were talking about Niagara and like the wine tasting to the fucking 17 different places you went to, whatever, and you're hammered by the end of it and you're buying $70 bottles of wine that you'll never open.
Yeah.
And then I told you when I was in Denver, we went to the Mon Museum, we had the same thing, but it was like moonshine, right? And I had Tammy's, this is all grain alcohol. And I was trying to like pace myself. You might not remember, but
I remember.
Right? It was saying, I had both of our 3 shots, and they were harsh, and one of them cinnamon or whatever. And by the time I had my 4th little shot, I was like, "Whoa, I feel this." And it's in the middle of the day, and I said that I tried to front like I was like being responsible or patient, like maybe I shouldn't have the 6th one, like whatever it is, only in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And so I ended up doing that. What's that?
Which is insane.
I get it. Yeah, I know. Boo. But anyway, I can get carried away. I was trying to be.
Responsible?
Yes, that's right. Well, you'll hear how this never works out at the end of the story. So
wait, you threw up in her car again? No,
yeah, no, that was you. Thank God you cut that story out. Maybe next
what
Christmas.
story? I don't know what you're talking about.
But that's in my mind. Yeah, this could happen. So this was in the middle of the day, and then after we did that Mon Museum, our friends stayed in that part of Vegas, and then we did something else, and then we went to the thing about it is that day was the day of the Penn and Teller concert.
Oh, that concert?
Yes.
Oh,
where I fucking came home, like I fucking couldn't go to the show.
Okay.
This is a longer story than possible, but what's fucking hilarious is Tammy heard me trying to talk about being like, know my limit and be responsible. But what ended up happening later on that day, to people that just tune in, is that we ended up going back to our hotel. We had to go to a Penn and Teller show at like 9:00 that night. We met back up with our friends, and I took a couple. I was like feeling great. I thought, oh, look at me. I'm pacing myself,
Yeah.
right? Get back to the hotel like 5 o'clock. Maybe go for a swim, whatever it was. Everything was cool. Chill out in the hotel room. I and the tequila bottle in our hotel room, and I have a couple shots. I know I can handle it.
Yeah,
Get all
for
dressed
sure.
up to go to the fucking Penn and Teller show at the Flamingo.
Did
I
you
can
have
handle
another
it.
beer?
Smoke a joint. Oh, had a beer.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
no, more than one for sure. And joints, it's legal there. Meet up with my buddy downstairs before we get to a cab. Smoke another joint before we go to the Flamingo. Get to the Flamingo. Go into the Flamingo. Go right to the bar. Right, we got to go to the Penn and Teller. Oh, we're grabbing a beer. Everything's a King Can in fucking Vegas too. So, go to the bar, and I'm feeling great at this time. And I'm forgetting about the Mob Museum. This is all like in hindsight now. And ask for another shot, and the guy pours these huge fucking shots, and they end up not letting us bring our beer into the Penn and Teller Theater. So I end up chugging my fucking beer.
Oh my gosh!
I couldn't believe it.
There goes for pacing.
And then 5, yes. Well, now I'm like, no, now pacing. I'm like, what? And so I ended up making the show for like 5 minutes and threw up in the bathroom. Like I'm doing the story
man.
not very justice because I know I said it to everybody.
Tune into episode. Fuck.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out whatever's in it. But you
Shit.
can revisit that one. But I ended up getting sick at the fucking Flamingo. We ended up having to leave. Well, it starts because I'm sure everybody has felt this feeling where I'm sitting there and everything is starting to spin a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking at the stage and I see double of everything. And then Penn and Teller come out and there's like fucking 4 of them out there. And I'm like, I know I'm feeling sick. Tammy looks over at me and sees me sweating buckets. Like I think when she tells the story again, should be our second guest because then I'll never come back after she comes out. But she feels how sweaty I am. She's like, oh no.
Oh,
And then, like I said, I had to fucking throw up a couple. I threw up and came. She goes, we should go. No, I can do it. Sit back down for 2 minutes. I got to go back throwing up again.
Yeah.
So we missed the whole fucking $150 fucking ticket show.
My God.
Like every time we see a commercial for the longest running show in Vegas,
You guys are like,
I wonder what that's like. My buddy tells me, how fucking good it was. And
Oh man.
so we end up leaving, and she's worried the whole time I'm going to throw up in the cab on the way back home. So, short story long, the whole day started off with the fucking moonshine testing, and like pacing myself was gone the second I did the first shot. I don't know what more trouble I could have got. I might as well have just drank everything.
Yeah, you should have just went full force.
I think my problem ended up later, like in the day. But Tammy was howling when she heard me thinking that I was pacing myself. So
Yeah.
I knew that was what I wanted to tell you, what I wanted to say
Okay.
for today. It's fucking hilarious, man.
I don't know why you talking about a show reminded me of this, but Matt Rife, right? I've always liked him, but I cannot stop watching videos of him these past 2 weeks.
I've never seen him.
Really?
I know what he looks like, but I've never seen him.
This guy is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
He is so funny. I don't know why I used to see in the videos, like it's not so much his stand up as his crowd work, right?
I hate crowd work.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
God, his crowd work is so good. It's not like, I swear I haven't seen a show or anything, which I kind of want to go to. This is like a comedian that I want to go see a show of,
Interesting.
because I feel like so he has a special on Netflix, and I started watching it and he was doing his stand up, and I'm like, But then when you see his crowd work, I think I didn't see it on the Netflix special, but I'm pretty sure he dedicates a lot of his show to doing crowd work.
Okay.
And it is so good. I just don't understand how someone can make he seems like a person that it would be fun just to hang out with and talk, because he can bounce jokes off of you, off of anything you say and stuff. Not like crowd work of a heckler type of stuff. You know what I mean? So his stuff has been freaking amazing so far for these past couple of weeks, and I've just been enjoying this guy. So yeah, we need to go to a Matt Rife show.
How did he come into your sight line? Like where I've heard his name and I don't know if the crowd work would be the position that I've heard people take on him.
Yeah.
Most of what I've heard is like very lukewarm on him.
His stand up is very lukewarm, but I've never
I get what you're saying.
I've
So I
never
find-
seen someone work a crowd like he does.
I find crowd work lazy comedy. Like it seems like it's all off the cuff. Like when you hear it, I'm not discounting you, and I'll take
Yeah.
your opinion into
Yeah.
to what it is. I think I know better crowd comedians. Like it might not be as
Like?
big. Like Big J Okerson.
Yep.
I'll send you clips of Big J Okerson. It's fucking so fucking funny.
Does he dedicate a show or is he doing hecklers?
He's good. He's known for being no. He's
Because I hate
he's the least-
heckler crowd
No,
work.
but that-
I think
well,
that's
so-
just whatever. But when you're talking to the crowd and interacting with the crowd, and you're able to, whether it's, I don't know how you do it. If you could, I don't know how you could write something like that. You can't write
But
that.
they've done it for. It's because you don't see the practice. They've been doing this in clubs for fucking
For
years.
sure. But not every comedian can do it. I don't think. I think it's not. I don't think Dave Chappelle can do crowd work like that. I
Because-
think his bread and butter is writing a joke, creating a scene, and catching you off guard.
I think Dave Chappelle is too good at comedy to have crowd work be a part of his time on the stage. Like
I think there's just different lanes.
Yeah,
just
I get
like
it.
just like punk and heavy metal. I think there's just different lanes. And I think if you're good at doing certain things, I think that's what you should lean into because I'm not interested in his stand-up.
Do you like improv? Like, do you know, like whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, I love whose line
Like,
is
it could be good, but
anyway.
it's, if you watch it enough, you got to see the formula in what they do.
Yeah.
You get to see, like, oh, that's kind of what they did with the fucking bus skit, and
For
they turn it
sure.
into fucking this skit,
For
or
sure.
they do it like it's funny and it can be good and it can lead to fucking good things, but it's a different animal.
For sure.
It's not being but I
But
agree.
it's brave because you can't control their responses. You
It
can't control
seems
what
brave.
they
I don't
say.
think it's as brave as coming up with a fucking good routine that links that can bring us all together. I think it's
Yeah.
easy because we're all you can make fun of anybody easily. So sorry, you just like an improv, you just all of a sudden you know the situation. So you don't expect that guy to say, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" to say welder. But you know, like, okay, if blue collar, like you'll categorize it into something and you'll just fucking make a joke about that or whatever it is. Like most of the time you'll make fun of, like, I think they're good at spotting somebody that can be made fun of.
Yeah.
And just look at them and then go, either
For
that
sure.
person's going to go with the flow, but no matter who that person was, they might have been saying the same jokes.
Absolutely. I know, but this is why I think his is a lot better than the other crowd work I've seen. Like he's I seen him get thrown for a loop and been able to. This one lady, it's a famous clip where she was in his show and she brought him a gift. He didn't know there was a gift. She brought him a gift. It was cookies and stuff, and she was like a hot older lady, and he was able to bounce off the fact that she's giving him cookies. He ended up FaceTiming her daughter, and like they were having like this whole thing. And then he came back to the show the next year, and she was still there, and he FaceTimed his daughter again and was able to handle that properly. When you do basic things like what do you do and stuff, those things, even I could make jokes out of that. But when you get thrown for a loop and handle them in funny fashion, I think that's what shows good crowd work as a comedian. Anybody can write a joke if you have enough time.
No, man.
Not
Nobody-
anybody, but I'm talking comedian wise. If you have enough time, you can write a joke. You can sit there and you can hone in on your craft. You can keep writing that same joke, rewriting it, and rewriting it. You can't do that with crowd work.
You can't. You're right. In that situation, you don't know what they're going to do, but they're fast on their feet. Like
Yeah.
some people are very good at making a quick joke and they're ready for it. Like that's what most good comedians are. And like most of those jokes, like they've done for years. Like Dave Chappelle has his own club in Ohio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they go up anytime they want and they polish it and they
Yeah.
get it ready and they know that all the ins and outs. They've tried a whole bunch of different taglines for it. So they're funny people. So they get to do that. You're right. I'm discounting it in a way because most of the time I hear people, the comedians that I like, they're not like, they feel that this has been put upon them, this crowd work thing, because of people like Matt Rife and this clip like world. Like for them to stay relevant, be the kids, and maybe that's ultimately the audience decides. If you like crowd work comedy, who am I to tell you that you shouldn't? And I get it. So, but more people like you are liking it more. So it's making more comedians put out these little clips, and somebody like Matt Rife will fucking be maybe responsible for that because he gets so good at it, and
Possibly.
then people want to do it. And so, but they look at it like less pure comedy. They look at it like lazy. It's almost like, you know how you will get an applause break? Hey, how about the troops? Give it up for the troops.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, I killed. They applauded out there.
Yeah.
Like it's a guaranteed go-to thing. So it's easy for, even when you think of it, if there's a whole front row of people, Like Tammy, the amount of comedy we've ever gone to, she doesn't want to go to the front row just in case they want to make fun of you.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? If you're at the front row and they start making fun of those people, you're so happy it's not you. And so you're relieved and look at that guy's mustache or look at that guy's or whatever it is. And then they're good at it. They can read people. They've been around the whole country and they see different types of people. So they get to know, hey, that's one of, like, you know what I mean? They get to common denominator us. And so the crowd loves it when I kind of make fun of somebody's hair. Oh, when I get a welder, you're a politician? Oh, that's gold. You know what I mean? I got so many in the bag for that type of thing.
But that's not what I've seen from him.
I believe you, yeah.
That's why
that's my
probably
sense
I'm
of it.
more drawn to it because it just, I remember one time maybe he knew. I remember this one video, he's talking to this guy and he's talking to this couple who came and they're on a date. I couldn't tell. Turns out the person he's on a date with is a tranny. Couldn't tell at all.
Yeah.
She was freaking, is this gay? She was gorgeous.
It's fine.
You
You'd
know
be
what
gay
I
if you
mean?
didn't say that.
Right?
You'd be
She
gay if
was
you denied
gorgeous.
it.
And then he was just like so interested. He's like, I have so many questions. And then he's going in asking questions and his responses are just all hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Ask somebody what they do or ask somebody how many kids they have. Those are all like that to me is lazy. But when you get so many, maybe his talent is spotting a good storyline. He knows there's something there. He may not know what. There's no way he knew that girl was a tranny.
Okay, no, listen, you're right. I'll try to listen to it or see some of it and see what you're talking
Don't watch
about.
the special.
Because I
Just
agree.
YouTube it.
Yeah, YouTube is clips, right?
Yeah,
but that's okay. So I have to like find that myself. I'm not
Nope,
trying to
I'm gonna
disagree with
send
you.
you.
That's fine. But it's not like I like to be. I don't know why I discount it.
I'm the same way. My style of comedy is Dave Chappelle style, which is the complete opposite of Matt Rife. Matt Rife is a white guy who does crowd work, and my style is black guy who does storytelling.
But I think, okay, so most of my comedians, I think, can do what Matt Rife does. They don't, so there's no proof in it.
Mm-hmm.
But from listening to podcasts and listening to enough shows and seeing just like that, like it's just like, oh, that's just so easy to do. Daniel Tosh got in trouble one time.
Yeah.
But he got, and the headline was, Tosh says a rape joke, right? Like I'm going to try to tiptoe over this a little bit, right? Or whatever, right? It's just like, and it wasn't quite like that. Right? The whole part of the story is he didn't have like a rape joke and he was saying something. He was saying something about something, maybe whatever. There's some kind of joke about something about like that. I don't know.
Those guys are idiots. Anybody who cannot separate a joke, don't comment on comedy.
But the whole problem started with, so these clip things, they make more hecklers. More people think that they can get a part of your show if they start heckling. So it makes more hecklers in a comedy show are the fucking worst.
I agree.
And so this person heckled fucking Tosh, right? I'm going to make the story a little wrong, whatever. But whatever. So he's like saying whatever, and she's like, says something like, rape's not funny. And then he goes, wouldn't it be funny if she just got raped after this show? Right? And it's
That's
like,
funny.
he doesn't want her to get raped.
No,
but then
he's
that ends
making a joke.
So he loses the show. Like, shit gets fucking canceled for him.
To me, that's bullshit. Matt
But
Rife
that's fucking
also
hilarious.
Matt Rife also had a same. He had the same thing. Where they were saying his joke was wrong. Have you heard the black eye joke?
No.
This was like early on, and he was taking this. Talking about that he was talking to somebody. I'm gonna say the joke wrong as well, and she was like, she has a black eye and stuff. And it was about cooking and cleaning. And then he's like, well, maybe if she was cooking and cleaning, she wouldn't have that black eye. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's terrible. I thought that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, he's making a joke.
Yeah.
And then it was funny what he did after. He was getting so much backlash, and then he put up an apology that said he apologized this joke. If you want to read my apology, go to this link, and then you click on the link, and it's a link to buy a special needs helmet.
That's fucking hilarious. So that's even funnier than the fucking joke.
So in general, he's just a freaking funny guy. But I'm like, if you can't separate the comedy jokes from the real jokes, if you're gonna, if I'm gonna have an argument with Tosh and be like, oh yeah, well you like rape, an actual legit argument, not like a joke argument, and like, oh you promote rape, you're an idiot. Because that's a joke. He doesn't promote rape. He's just making a fucking joke. I don't know why this concept is so hard for people.
So this is okay. That's not my problem with like crowd work
but I
or
just
all
went
that.
off. I just
No. But that's what ends up happening. Like I'm basing my. I think I have a predisposed position to not like it. And
Yeah.
I don't know why. And like I said, like Big J Okerson, I've seen work at the best. And it's not even that. Like it's, again, I don't have any other examples of this, but like he was an opener for a show I went and took friends to a few years ago. And the opener, he was so much better than fucking Ari Shafir, who I wanted to be better. Like I've seen better comedy from him, but that show wasn't it. And I never apologized for taking everybody there. But fucking Okerson comes out and right away he's he's in Toronto. He knows in Toronto, like this isn't crowd work. This isn't, but this is just, and he might have, this is all rehearsed, so it's not a thing, but I can never fucking forget. He goes, oh my, I'm having such a great time. It's like getting head at a Bare Naked Ladies concert. Like you can think of whatever you want for the Bare Naked Ladies, but it's such a good time concert show. And I'm getting head.
Yeah,
like it's just
great.
like, so he's in Toronto. That joke doesn't work in Wisconsin.
No.
That joke, I'm fucking howling off of it. I fucking use it to my buddies. I'm fucking so happy. It's like I'm getting head at a fucking Bare Naked Ladies concert. And it's just like, I was on board.
Yeah.
Like he can never say anything wrong after that. I don't even remember any of the show afterwards. I was just like, yeah. Like that, you could have worn a Leaf shirt, you could have worn anything you wanted, but that was so specific.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate it. Any kind of comedy. I shouldn't even try to rip on it. If you can make me laugh in any kind of fucking spot,
It's good.
that's the fucking best.
Yeah.
This isn't to do with comedy. That's fucking great. I want to cut your comedy talk
Well,
off.
I'm
but-
going to cut you off again because I have. Oh wait. Oh no. Go ahead.
No, what?
Go ahead. I have something else I want to talk about, but it might take the rest of the show. Probably.
Okay, so before you do, the
Yeah.
last thing I want to say is because we don't get to talk about TV too much,
Yeah.
or even F1. I'm making bank off F1.
Oh yeah, I know. You've been
Yeah.
hitting. I told you stop asking me, Jay.
I did stop asking you, and I just kept showing you fucking what I get. I might end up missing the fucking race this weekend because I got shit to do on Sunday. But I'm actually coming over to see you maybe on, or hope I am coming to see you on Sunday. So maybe I will take you up on your password fucking chance.
Yep.
But besides that, Tammy's watching Drive to Survive.
Nice.
We started this year. I know you don't watch it, but we started this year, and she's watching me watch F1. And we watched one, and so she's run out of shit to watch while she's busy at work. And so you leaders, and so she started watching it again, and so I didn't think anything of it. And she calls me up like sometime this week after we had this discussion. She's going to start watching again. She goes, "What happened to Daniel Ricciardo?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean? What happened to Daniel Ricciardo?
Did he die?
Like, yeah, what is he okay?" No, like, what happened to him? And she's like watching the first season when he's like the king of the fucking, like, you know, I mean, he's in Red Bull. He's like, it's so much different. It's 7 years ago. And I can't remember what it was like to watch F1 7 years ago.
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, this guy, he's like, you know, he's like fucking, I'm like, so I'm explaining it to her. And so I'm reliving it in a while. I watched like episode 5 with her like yesterday, and I can't even recognize it.
Yeah?
I can't recognize half the people on the fucking teams. British racing is still going.
Oh God.
Right, like Sergio Perez is still
Yeah.
there. Like fucking Lawrence Strong. Like they haven't. Aston
bought
Martin
the
hasn't
team?
come into fucking play
Yeah.
yet. Like they're about all these things are about to, and I almost want to spoil it for her. I go, oh, that guy's this, that, and I'm just like, I can't. I gotta like let her live in it. And
Fuck, it's like a long ass soap opera.
but but that's the thing. Her friend likes these kind of shows, and so she binged watched 4 in a row.
God
and so
damn.
she's into it.
Yeah.
like she's a little pissed. I think that we can't watch the race this Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's fun. I'm reliving it. But all right, you got fucking. You're on the clock.
I'm on the clock. Okay, so it's something that we talked about maybe like 10 episodes ago, and it's about the boys in soccer and me taking them out of soccer.
Oh yeah, I got opinions.
So I gave my reasons. I guess I have to kind of rehash it quickly, is that I just don't think they have the drive, and I also want to give them something else that they can take for life. Like that's basically the gist of why I want to take them out of soccer, right?
Yep.
This past season, and Jay's heard a lot about this, the boys have been playing great. Like it's people have been saying like you can't take them out of soccer, especially Sire. They're saying like you can't take him out of soccer. He's like they're so good. They're being so good. Both of the boys score all the time. They play very well. And now I'm struggling with the fact is am I supposed to continue this, right? Or am I supposed to still stick and do what I think is right? Because there's been situations in my life where my mom has gave me decisions when I thought was right, and it ended up being the wrong decision. I think in my mind, she should have just forced me to do what she wanted me to do. And am I doing a disservice if I don't do that too?
I'm glad you're revisiting it. I'm not trying to jump into your thing or whatever. Part of what if people don't have to go all the way back to 10, but they'll remember that you want to introduce them to arts as well, right? Like it's hard to separate both boys. You know what I mean? Like Kai is also good at soccer, but he might not be as good as Sire. There can be natural ability. Like Sire might never like touch a violin and never fucking want to touch it again. Where you put it in Kai's hand and he it gravitates to it. How do you know what they gravitate to towards they do it? Are you ignoring them gravitating towards soccer just for the sake of pulling them away from it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy to hear you say that. Not because I think that they're 100% going to succeed in soccer, but you see growth in the soccer. You see the potential. So by maybe you taking them out, you're going to stifle something just for the argument of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you can manage that. Like I think if you've recognized something that they like and are gravitate towards too, I don't think you take it away. I think how can you add towards it? Like, you know what I mean? It's not my money. It's not my time. So I don't know how you add to it, but unless they ask to be without it or show no interest is when you say you take them out. Like, you're growing you're not growing them to be better soccer players. You're growing them to be good teammates or good leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like how are they going to succeed if they don't get to keep trying? If that's something they want to do. Like what it appears to me now is they actually just might need better coaching. Right? Like maybe they're just like Sire 100% is lost with all the other 6 and 7 year olds.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like he's like he's outgrown them because he's like they're going, but then he plays with the bigger kids. They're so much bigger that their physicality gets to challenge him a little bit.
Yep.
But let's let him go. You know what I mean? Like maybe Brenton comes, he said, your kid, he shouldn't be playing with these guys. But it's like only the second year. Like if you take him out now, he'll never get that opportunity to play with the people he should be playing with.
Yeah.
And with the brothers, with them being so close, it's not like you can take one out and not the other.
Yep. Yep.
Again, forgive me, it's not my time,
It's
but
true.
is there a position where instead of it only can be one thing or the other, can you add stuff to their schedule?
I think that's kind of what, like, I don't want my kids to feel like they can do everything. I want them to make these tough decisions and to have tough decisions. It's like one of Selena's reasons for not really wanting to have a dog, because they die. And I'm like, well, that's just stuff they're going to have to go through in life. Like, I'm going through it at work right now. Like, shit's just going to happen and you're just not going to be able to you're just going to have to realize you're just not good at certain things, or you're not the best. But keeping them in soccer, to me, is like, I keep thinking, like, to what end? My cousin was a good soccer player, college scholarships and whatnot, and what ended up happening? So it made him be the person who he is today, right? But what if there was something else out there that they could have gravitated to? What if Sire's a great freaking boxer?
Yeah.
He wants to go into fighting. What if he's an even better boxer? And he just wasn't able to make those decisions and wasn't even forced. You could still do soccer in school.
But okay, and I'm not trying to disagree with you on purpose, but why does it only have to be one thing at a time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, you can't put 10 things on their plate. But
Yeah.
you're a multidimensional person. Like, they have to learn how to multitask.
They do.
They also have to learn how to, like, if there's only one thing to do at a time, then there's no priority set.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, do you like violin or soccer? Like, you've done both for a year now. What do you want to do? Like, what are the 2 things you want to do next year instead of the one thing?
But that's when their decision making is skewed. Soccer's freaking popular. All their friends like soccer. All they see is soccer, and they play FIFA. Is that because of the popularity? Is that because it's something they really want to do enough to put money towards it?
Okay, again, like, you have to forgive me, but why can't soccer just be an automatic until it's not, and then introduce them? Because you don't want to purposely pull them away from their friends or the things that they gravitate to. If we bought them a little foosball tape, it's because they like soccer.
Yeah.
Any kid's going to like a foosball tape. I hate soccer, but I love foosball.
Yeah.
I want to play air hockey. You've played more air hockey than real hockey. Maybe not real hockey, you know what I mean?
No,
but
not real hockey, but yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't mean anything. It's just a thing you try, right? Like, it doesn't have the consequences with the money and your decisions, but like, soccer has a season. It's not like you're the type of fucking person that's like soccer practice in the middle of February, or you know what I mean? Like everything has a thing. Like Gretzky's quote was like a long time ago, is like he's a good athlete because he played baseball, soccer, and fucking hockey. And that nowadays kids just only keep their kids in hockey. It's hockey camps, it's hockey fucking schools, it's hockey tryouts. It's like trying to get that little edge. And you're right, to what end? But if soccer is a baseline, like at least you're like, you know what I mean? They know how to engage with other people. And if they're good at it, yeah, soccer might be a good fighter as well. But what if that informs him to be an even better soccer player? Like he needs to go and try totally other different things. And his ability in soccer is going to make him great at fighting because he's good at kicking. I mean, that's the easiest thing to say, right? But also he's going to have to learn to control his aggression as a fighter. And then so he's not going to be one of these kids who do dirty tackles. He's going to learn like I can dirty tackle, but I don't want dirty tackles of me. I do my fighting in the ring, not in the soccer field.
Yeah,
and he'll learn to manage himself like that. And then maybe fucking Kai's the type of person like, you know what? I already do one sport. Let's do something else. So I think it's, and again, not my money, not my time, but I would rather present them with two choices to do and say, okay, listen, is soccer going to be the thing? And then what else are we doing? You can't do two, you can't, you know what I mean? Like do, I mean, like I said, it might be different seasons of the year, but just never, don't take soccer away from them just to give them another experience. You can give them both. Like you can give them, especially if they're good at it. Like you need to find, like it's hard because they're both challenged right now. But like Brenton said, like Sire needs to be more challenged, not taken away. You've barely scratched the surface on what they can do, and you see the bigger picture. But they're kids playing soccer. They really still don't have an idea. Like Kai, what's offsides?
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like he doesn't know how to fucking manipulate it offside.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to fucking draw the defense, and you know what I mean? Like Kai, what's a 4-3-4? What's the difference between a 1-2-2-5? Or you know what I mean? Like all these, you see the World Cup and they fucking do their, you know what I mean? Like the positions they play. And so there's all kinds of tactics to be put in play. Right now they just know how to pass and kick and score and whatever. So they'll always learn that. And then if it's just like, so okay, what else do you want to do? And that's why I've never understood, because it's not my time or money, how to fucking, you know what I mean? Like make them have to only do one thing. And I think it's a on the fly leadership decision to just fucking take Brenton, you know what I mean? Like just take this shit and go, fuck man, maybe it would be a shame to take them out of soccer because they are actually good at it. Just like you said, they've shown interest. It's not like the last Pee Wee hockey season I played, we signed up. The second last season I played, I did all the tryouts and I went to like the red level. It was still house league. I was never that great, right? This was before I was a goalie and a superstar, but I was still a player. And I played red and I played my season and I did all this. And I was coming from this was when my family was breaking up. This was all kinds of shit going on. And I was half-assing it and doing all that. The next season I just signed up because it was a thing to do and we had moved. And then so because I didn't even try out and I just got dropped a level, I probably played one game and I quit. And nobody cared. Like nobody called me out on it. They're gone now, so I'm not trying to call them absentee parents. They are right now. And so it's just like, it was a thing that happened. They never pressured me to do it because maybe they'd seen other parents pressure themselves to do it or do whatever. But I felt, like if there was zero consequences for me to do that. I just withdrew from it and I didn't play hockey again until I was a teenager. And I wish I was a goalie, what I really wanted to do. That's all my fault. I wish I kind of did, but I withdrew from it. But nobody cared. You're the opposite of this. You're caring so much, you should do it. So let them decide not to do it anymore. Or this is what I'm saying. I showed disinterest and nobody paid attention. It's okay. You want a hockey, sign up. Okay. And then just never went. You're never going to let that happen. If they start showing half-assed disinterest, okay, well, we're not going to go to soccer. But they show interest. So why take it away from them if they're showing that interest?
Because their interest may not be the correct path,
but showing others at the same time. Like I get it. I'm not saying lifelong soccer, but what's wrong with, okay, you know what? They're always going to be playing soccer now. Not because you're going to make them, because that's what they want to do.
But everybody does that. Every kid
You never
does
did.
that.
That's who
That's
they are.
I chose not to.
You never played FIFA video games.
Yeah, I did.
But not like whatever.
Way more than they did.
It never.
But I just never played soccer because that was just, I don't know, this just wasn't my thing. But like everybody's kids that I know play soccer at some point. Soccer is like it's just so saturated. Like, I get it. Sure, they could be the superstar. They could make it somewhere. They could potentially get a scholarship, which, I mean,
I'm not even saying it for that.
But that's part of the goal for me. Like,
okay, but
to make it somewhere, to succeed at something that you've done from a young age.
What if Kai gets a scholarship in violin but he also can't play soccer for the rest of his life?
He can. I'm just not paying for it.
You shouldn't have had kids.
Yeah, I'm just not paying for it.
You shouldn't have kids. But
they have schools. They can go into school soccer. They can go into college soccer. They can join the high school soccer team.
I think it's not criminal's not the right word, but I think it's I don't think it's right to pull something that they have motivation to do. It's very hard to give people motivation.
True.
Right? Like, you're motivated at work to make it better. It's hard to make me motivated to make it better and then not stay in my comfort zone. You don't want kids to be like that. You want them to be hungry for stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So they're actually telling, just because other people do it, that's a fucking retarded reason. Like, they want to. Like, you're not saying, like, they're fucking excited for it.
Yeah.
So it's not there yet. Like, that's probably why so many people fucking play soccer. Like, it's not just like so random. And so this is why I'm saying, like, you give them both. Like, it's one thing, just like, you don't have, he can fight, like, this is Sire, and you want to put him in Muay Thai or fucking whatever, kickboxing. Then, like, that can happen when soccer is done. Right? Just say, okay, now you do soccer. Okay, now, like, soccer season's coming up. Do you want to do more fighting, or do you want to wait till soccer is done to do fighting? Or do you want to do, like, violent? Like, I don't know why you don't give them 2 seasons of stuff.
Because I want them to be the best that they can. If they focus on something, that's what they're going to be the best
The Gretzky
at.
quote is telling you that you don't have to pick a lane.
In terms of sports, but like if you want to be for example, when I was young, my mom, first thing she put me in was piano lessons. I hated it. Didn't want to do piano lessons. I said I wanted to do drums. So then at the age of 7, she put me in drums. And then I was constantly in drums. I was surrounded by drums. I went to church 3 days a week. I was playing drums. I went to drum lessons twice a week. I was playing drums. Like, I never really had a drum set till I got older. So like, I was just so constantly in drums, and that's just what I ended up being good at because that's what I focused on. Sure, I played basketball at school. I played in a league. I played hockey at school. I played in a league a house league in hockey and roller hockey. But those things were never, like, those were all on me at that point. That was all on me signing up and me asking my mom so I can sign up for this season here and there. Her dedication was putting me in drums, and that's what I did that was my focus from I was 7 to I was in my 20s.
Okay, but you just said it yourself. Like, you figured out the basketball and the roller hockey, and I 100% agree with you. Your fact that you're a drummer informed you of your, like, fucking punk age with your Blink-182 and all that kind of shit, and fucking your buddy with a guitar and hanging out. Like, never would have fucking happened. Other friends of yours never experienced stuff like that because of what informed you for all that other stuff. But you also found these other things, and you're also trying to be a father who's showing your sons these other things. So why just assume they're going to find that on their own when you can just give it to them? Your fucking controlness is right there.
Kai found soccer on his own when he was in tennis.
Okay, but you want to introduce him to violin or drawing or whatever it is. I'm saying I agree with you, but don't throw the soccer out. Like, it's not about being soccer. It's about how it informs them of being a person, right? Like, they're 2 different soccer players. They're 2 different kids. They're 2 different men eventually. So how did soccer help them fucking develop who they are? Like, how much did drums help who you are? So the fact that they're showing interest in it is the main thing for me. My opinion. All it is my opinion.
Yeah,
the main
sure.
thing. It doesn't stop you from being 100% correct. Is what else can I show them that they don't know yet? And I'm saying, how can't both exist? Like, because it's not my money. I get it. But it's not, let's just fucking take that out. Like, all these other things can happen at the same time. I fucking see shit on fucking TV or line or whatever, other people like, okay, I got my kid at swimming lessons, okay, horseback riding, okay, fucking golf, like fucking whatever it is. Like, what? I should never introduce the kids to golf because they still play soccer? No, you just slowly bring it into them.
Yeah.
And then one day you give them a choice. Say, hey, are we going to play soccer this summer or are we going to go golfing? Or, you know what I mean? Like, go-karting. We've never even taken the kids go-karting. That's our thing. But you know what? Like, Max Verstappen was go-karting by now.
Yeah.
Like, so how do we not know yet? And so it's just like, that's not a thing. That's not a be all or end all. It's like, okay, so no more soccer, right? Like, you like this go-karting thing? It's like, that's a horrible thing to make a kid decide.
That's why I'm gonna decide.
Yeah, but I'm telling you should do both. Again, my money's not in it. But why is it focused? Why, if money wasn't an object and time wasn't an object and coddling wasn't one of the things you could look at, why not give them everything? Like, you want them to have a finite, you know what I mean, like, choice. But if you could introduce them to everything, that would be the goal, right?
True.
Right? Like,
You
here's a
gotta be
$70 steak, here's a
exposed.
$4 steak.
You got to be exposed to things.
And also the goal is to keep the engine running. So it's just like, oh, you like soccer? The second they say they don't like soccer is when done. Like, but don't pull them kicking and screaming from soccer.
Yeah,
Like,
but
interest is the hardest thing. Like drive, desire, like wanting to do something, like not
That is
reluctant
the
to do, is
hardest
the hardest
thing.
thing to do.
But how do you go, okay, you're only interested in this. How can you expose them to other things without them kicking and screaming? If I don't sign them up for indoor soccer, right? So
that's the end of the
last
line.
winter was like the first year that they both skipped indoor soccer, right? So if you don't, if
That's what I'm saying the line is.
winter, and then be
no
like,
more
hey,
indoor soccer. You fight. So this winter, I don't know how you just. I'm not making it simple. Last winter, you didn't do anything, right? This is what I'm guessing at. They played soccer in the summer and nothing in the winter.
Yeah.
You cut off indoor soccer. So that line has already been established. Oh, one more indoor soccer. No, you have to either pick this. What out of this list do you like? Violin, drawing, fighting, and piano. And so I don't like any of them. Okay, what else? What other things do you want to add to the list? No, I don't know. Okay, so one of these, you know what I mean? Like, however you force those things, then you do it.
Mhm.
And then you say, this is what we're doing. And however you make them, because then they go, and then they do that and then summer comes, and hey, the fucking flowers are blooming, they're all that. Okay, soccer. Okay, yep, you want to play soccer again? We can go. And then you, like, that's because they're bringing it up to you, or you give them that choice. Do you want to continue doing fucking fighting? Or are we going to play soccer again until the winter? And then, you know what I mean? Like, and then now they have a little pattern. Oh, I get to see my friends again. Oh, I get to do this. I get to be better at soccer. And you're not just forcing them. So how long do they just do fighting for? Until you say, okay, now what?
Mhm.
Right? And then how criminal is it? Okay, I guess I still only get one thing, Daddy. Right? It's like, so you have the ability to show them more. You have the ability, the knowledge that there's so much out there. So you can't give them 10 things at once, but I think you should give them 2 things at once. And I get to
Okay.
go. I get
like
to just
that.
tell you what to
I
do
like
and
that.
fucking go.
I like that. I'm gonna do that, Jay. I'm gonna, at the end of this season, I'm gonna give them a list, 3
Yes.
or 4 things.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell them that's what they can pick on, and that's what they're gonna do. And then when the spring comes back again, I'm gonna say, hey,
Give them that list again.
yeah,
and put soccer on the
will
top.
be in there, and be like, which one do you want to do?
So give them 2 seasons.
Okay, I like that.
And then we'll see what happens. Fuck. See?
I like that.
Be a
That's
leader.
Three,
Step up.
3 things, Jay. 3 things, Jay. What the hell?
It's your birthday, bro.
Well, thanks, and I want to thank everyone for listening to the Work Related Podcast.
We are related by work on Twitter. And yeah, we'll see what happens for the rest of the week.
Yep.